Greetings, YouTube, and welcome back to the Kingdom. I am your host tonight, the Late Night King, and today we are going to be going over Gathering Storm, the free-to-play analysis of it, and grinding a little bit, as this is a grind stream as well. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, so first thing we always look at is how many tokens we have in the event. From what I've seen, we've got 4 if you're willing to go to 6,500. After that, not so much. Second thing we're looking for is portal stones. It looks as though we've got 150 plus the 200 over here, 350 plus the 100 free ones that we're giving. So 450 gems. Now, see you and welcome to the stream. Going through, we have quite a few gems available here as well. But while the rewards seem as good, if not a little bit better than the last event, the main difference we have here is a 1.2 modifier over a 1.4. And that's going to make a big difference when grinding out the actual stuff. So, I'm going to tell you now that as you're grinding through here, if you're looking for late game, you are not going to find anything of worth until maybe Skullgrim. And that's if you're really looking for an extra 4-star Titan X skill. So Skullgrim's going to be pretty decent. If you get really good skills, Skullgrim will be worth the event on his own. But after Skullgrim, you've got your Divine Gems, some regular gems, your Serrated Edge. And to be honest with you, unless you grind basically this entire event, you're not really going to find much value in here. I know this is the Storm Maiden event, and if you have time this weekend, maybe this is worth it to you, but these relics will be available at another time. You don't need to have them today, and especially since that even if you get the perfect skills on your Skullgrim, it's going to take you months before you level them up, and during that time, these 4 stars are going to just be sitting in your inventory the entire time. You're really investing in long term with this event. And it's not like it's going to be an easy investment. You are investing your time, your blood, sweat, and tears. Now, I have a very frank welcome. I have a very specific reason that I am trying to get through this event. Yes, I will be completing this event. But it is not for the reason that you guys think. Going into my Pantheon, you are going to notice in Legendary 2 what champion happens to not be here? Skullgrim. Alright. So if I'm going for Skullgrim, I might as well get the other stuff, because it seems like a waste to grind up to him and then just miss out on the reason for the event. So I'm going through it for a different reason. Real quick, I want to show you guys this. In the upcoming weeks, I will be claiming all of the relics from Tier 1. Because you have your level 40 Drakor. I've got one more level to get on Ulrich. And then 4 more levels on Thorg. Once I have those, I'm ready to claim all of the relics in this particular one. But yeah, as I've said before, Legendary 1, Legendary 2 are the only ones that I really care about. Now, getting back to the event itself, Kamathi, she has been a hard one to get a hold of. I'm lucky I got her during the first time that she was available, and I haven't gone through anything to get any copies of her since. But they haven't offered that very much. So, as for the rest of the event, Talisman, Whetstone, There will be uses for those. Banner of the Storm is going to be a very good relic. But there will be uses for those. They're not, standout. I have to have these. They are more along the lines of medium level relics. Some of them, like the banner, on the slightly better side, but nothing game breaking here. So if you choose to pass on this event, with all of the portal stones that you have saved up, grind it out a little bit slower. Alright? Get yourself to 3,000. That should be your goal, at least. If you don't want to spend anything like that. Well, I will have to check why that link didn't work. And by the way, guys, my channel is now branded, so it may not have worked because I just switched it over. So we don't have those long YouTube links anymore. Yeah, Frank, you're right about that. If possible, just save your portal stones for the next event. Don't grind hard today. Tomorrow, just hold these portal stones up. And next event, you're going to have a jump start when no one else does. Yeah, and once again, 3,000 shouldn't be any issue to get to. You're going to net yourself 3 tokens. You're going to net yourself 350 portal stones and 750 gems for prep work. So just use this event as prep. Now, this actually makes me feel a little vindicated for saying last week that you guys needed to go all in on it. So I feel better about that individually. And I still stand by that decision. Now, me too, Jamie. Kamathi is a great Titan. Alright, in the rank rewards, we have your Grimvald and your Skullgrim. Honestly, I think Skullgrim was the one with the X skill. So I think Skullgrim is going to be better, but I'll have to check Grimvald's. Hey, no problem. If you happen to be in an alliance that is between 51 and 250, see if you can convince them to kick a few people, have them join back, and get to the 3,000 gems. Because this area right here is just not worth it. Alright. Now, shout out to Non-Toxic. We are number 14th on the leaderboard right now, and going strong. Okay, so with that said, you guys know my little breakdown for this. If any of you have Discord, you're welcome to join me in Discord as well. But we are going to get to a little bit of grinding tonight. Because unfortunately, I have a long ways to go. Josh, welcome to the stream, man. Always good to have you on. Let me go down here. Now, I'm happy that today I get to grind with Odin. My Odin relics I am using are, the traditional Panther relics. And because it's Odin, I've got to use Yggdrasil's bow. So, I've got the Titan in army lightning damage, Titan critical, and then armor piercing. It is going to be a good night for the grind, guys. I really like Odin as opposed to other archers just because he's got a speed buff on his actual shooting. So that makes these battles a little easier. And Odin's not high level for me yet. He's still in his 30s. But Titans like Odin, I will end up raiding with because of how well he buffs archers. What I'm waiting for right now on him is just him to get maybe midway through his 40s, and then his buffs to the archers should be good enough. Give me a second. I'm going to respond to you here in a moment, Frank. Let me just start this up. Alright, so Frank says Theros that he got has crit, archer armor, double imp damage to Titan, Archer damage. No, Frank, the amount of investment you're going to have leveling up that Theros isn't going to be worth it. What I would recommend is that you save Theros, and you save him for any event that he might be the bonus Titan, and then you just level him through that. And then whenever they add them to a collection, you'll just be able to pick up whatever relic that that collection holds, because you saved onto your Theros, and you're not going to have to hope that RNG drops you a good one. That's right. Those boosts are big. I mean, I've got 3 Siegfrieds with varying skills that I will be leveling up. And it's just because the skills on them, I will be able to use for different reasons. I've got one perfect Siegfried, one Siegfried with perfect archer skills and mediocre spearman skills, and then another Siegfried with perfect spearman skills and mediocre archer skills. So I'll find a reason to level them all, just because they will have a perfect unit that I can buff and get out there. Let's see. I was really considering using the Heartseeker on Odin today, because that weapon was made for him. The problem is Yggdrasil is just better for him. Josh, my goal in the event is I'm actually going all the way. I'm recommending most free-to-play players stop at 3,000, but I'm going all the way because I need Skullgrim for the Tier 2 Titan Monument. Or not Monument, but Arena, Collection, whatnot. He's the last Titan that I need, and since I'm getting him, I might as well get the good stuff in the event. And the problem with this event is it really takes you to get, I mean, you have to go to 14,000 before you get anything good. And that's good is subjective. So it's going to be a painful event for me, but I just need that Titan, because the reward out of that Legendary 2 slot in the Titan Monument area is one of the best rewards that there is. No, don't level Titans. Don't level Titans that don't have good skills to level. Otherwise, you're going to be spending all this game and wondering why you're so weak at the end when it comes to the late game. If I didn't have if I didn't need Skullgrim so badly, I would do exactly what you're doing, Josh. And to be honest with you, if I'm tired of grinding by the time I get to Skullgrim, I might just stop after that, because, I mean, I'm not super impressed with any of the things that are dropping in this event. And who knows, maybe this will be an event that I just use most of the rest of my relics. Let's see, on Titan. On ranged troops, you want damage and you want armor piercing. If you can get the combination of those two, I mean, it is going to be a great damage or attacking Titan. Even will give some people problems on defense. On the melee troops, generally speaking, you want health and armor. You get any combination of those. Jason Jerome, welcome. Let's see. You know what? Knowing my luck, next week, Toland is going to drop in an amazing event. And it's going to be guaranteed X skills for his archers. Congratulations, Josh. Leveling those relics is just brutal at times. I have a personal goal this weekend, and that is to get my level 5, or the Paladin level 5 relic leveled all the way up. Because I keep putting it off to level up other things, but I mean, it's a level 5 relic. It deserves to be fully leveled. Huzzah, Anthrax, huzzah! Sup, Dougie? Yes, this is the Late Night Grinders. Everyone here is as crazy as I am, which is why we get along. And for those of you interested, once again, you have your thoughts that you want to express on this game, something that you want to get off your chest, you are welcome to join and use my stream as your platform tonight. Let's see. Jerome, you know what? I'm advising most of my listeners that unless they have specific alliance goals, that 3,000 is where they need to stop. Me, I'm going to go ahead and complete this event tonight. Or not tonight, but I'm going to complete this event, not because I love any of the event relics or anything like that that's pushing me for it. It's because I need Skullgrim to complete my Titan Arena Tier 2. Because the 2 relics that you get out of the Tier 1 and Tier 2 for the Legendary are flippin' amazing, and Skullgrim is the only one I'm missing. But if you go to 14, I mean, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to get the other good rewards up there, but it's just going to take a long time to grind to get there. Everything before 14,000, it's not worth it. If you're spending money or time or saved up portal stones. It is. And all of that stuff is going to be released again at some point. I've just learned my lesson on waiting for certain Titans to come back through, because some of them just will never reappear. And while I don't care if Titans reappear, I need Skullgrim for the one relic that I really want to have. Yep, Skullgrim is a very rare one. As you guys see, I'm at 38,000 gems. Last weekend, you know, I used my stored up relic tokens to get through that event. And it was, needless to say, an expensive event because I got mostly 1 stars. It's kind of depressing. Yeah, you know, what I really look for in an event, guys, are 2 types of relics. I'm going to just go ahead and classify them as my core relics. Relics that I can build Titans around, that an entire Titan build can go around. And then, basically, the other really important type of relic is relics that can fit into any build. Ones that just are that extra relic that will fill out everything you need. And that's what those orbs are to me. That's what the Banner of Iron is to me. Although I figured out this week that the Banner of Iron is only for physical people, and that was my bad. It is still incredibly good. I did notice that, Dougie. I called it last week, though. I called that this event wouldn't be everything that people thought it was going to be. It's just not Dawn of Titan's way to release everything at once. And, I don't know whether or not to say it's, I'm glad that I'm right, because I'm actually not glad that I'm right. I would have loved this to be the event that, we push 1 billion souls as opposed to the 200 million that they wanted. Now, after Throne Wars, I started to look. I've given a little bit more value to those relics. That I'm glad that you like that, Frank. But I've started to give more value to those relics that give spells. And it's at some point in this game, you are going to run out of spells. It's not going to be early on in your career in Dawn of Titans, unless you really want that to happen. But if you have an extra 6 spells when you're attacking, maybe it's not so bad. If Throne Wars lasted, an entire week, I would have run out of spells, which would have been bad. And that Lightning Storm spell looks like it may be worth the time. Now, for those of you who don't know, my favorite spell in this game, it's going to sound weird, is the simple Fireball. I've used Fireball. Let's see. Now, even though I've used Fireball more than any other spell, I leveled it. Once you get Fireball to level 20, you can one-shot all of the ranged units that you end up fighting. So you just drop a Fireball on archers, you drop a Fireball on grenadiers, and you just get rid of them. Poison spell is great too. Poison spell, I can see if you're being strategic. Fireball is just pure speed. Now, beyond that, I'm leveling up Fireball once again, because when a level 21 Fireball, I think, should be enough to take out ranged troops that have maybe 24% resistance, which is now getting pretty common. You know what? I haven't even considered that strategy, Frank. That sounds more than viable. Now, I will say there is one type of defense that I'm running into that is just causing me a lot of losses. Because between my Mamesh and my Siegfried, I can take down just about what anybody has. The problem I'm running into is when I go up against a incredibly well-rolled as well as geared up Theros or Odin with their full range of archers. Because I don't have all of the I guess I could get the resist to ranged, but when they do damage, it's so hard to get next to them. Rob, I'm going to tell you now, the last 2 or 3 weeks before last event dropped, I really considered taking a break from Dawn of Titans for a month or two. Just so I could, get my head back on straight. Because sometimes, the game, it really does grind on you. Yeah, what skills did you get, Rob? Alright. Now go ahead in chat, everybody. Let me know how far you guys are going in this event. What is it that you want to get out of it? Some of you are going to be crazy like me and go a little further than you actually need to. Yeah, anyone who's been in Legend for a while realizes that while the grind is fun and the fights are fun, sometimes it is just... Sometimes you need a breather. You really do. 2.5 Kemosabe. That's a good place to go. Holy cow. Rob, you absolutely scored on that Skullgrim. You need to level him. Game Rescue, welcome to the channel, man. Not that your Grenadiers are going to be any good, but those Maidens, when fully maxed out, they're going to be powerful, man. And you're going to be happy you got a Titan that can really push the envelope with it. All right. Now, don't be too harsh on me if by the end of the weekend you guys notice that I don't complete this event, because while I really want Skullgrim, every day I'm going to be looking at those souls and thinking I'm in dead man's land after I reach the 3,000 mark. Now, he got maiden damage and he got maiden AP. So, I mean, he got the two premier skills on the newest, biggest unit in DOT. I foresee that Titan not being outscaled for at least a year and a half. So you're going to be happy you got those skills on them, Rob. Yes, but he's not going to need them to tank now, Game Rescue, because they're buffing the Goliaths next week. I don't know, the relics I was looking at with the Maidens looks like they are limiting their crit somewhat. Because I saw one with like maxed out, it was 16% crit. To let you guys know, I only have 18 relics left. I used something like 18 relics in the last event. So I paid the iron price last weekend because I didn't have much time to do it. And the value in that event was just so high. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, if the rest of the relics are like that, Rob, crit is going to be something incredibly sought after for those Maidens. There's a reason that they must be decreasing it heavily at the moment. And it probably has to do with how powerful they are. Oof. See, that hurts, Game Rescue. I mean, if you're 50-50 and you're desperate, I'd say if you got the armor-piercing skill, you can make it work, but it's just not going to be good. But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to be desperate. You just got some nice forging food. No, I mean, they're not going to... At least I don't think they should release X skills for crit. I mean, with the release of the X skills, you guys got to realize that all relics got nerfed to some extent. Before, relics were basically the reason that your Titans were able to do damage. Now with the release of those, you can have sometimes subpar relic builds and still be able to compete. Before, earlier in this game, you didn't have the right relics. A good half of the nexuses, or castles, as well as lands, were just off limits to you. You literally could not beat, the unstoppable Freyas and things like that. Oh, congratulations, man. I am in desperate need of another Bitter Dirks. And I wasn't about to do that terrible Throne Wars, or not Throne Wars, but Theaters of War for poison. I mean, I didn't even do my usual invest a few thousand in it to show you guys. Take care, Dougie. Thanks for joining us tonight. Oh, and for those of you who have been around for a while, I have officially rebranded myself as just the Late Night King. While Shooter McGavin will remain on my main page, the Late Night King is what my channel will be named, and basically what I'm going to be going by in DOT as well. Finally got around to getting my custom URL, and I was like, okay, choose one way or the other. And while I love Shooter McGavin, because he's my favorite villain of all time, for a YouTube channel, I think this is more fitting. Oh. Alright. Let's go find some easy lands. Is that leveled? Oh, jeez, yeah. Here we go. Alright. No, I find that, with level 22, level 23 troops, anything that's under 300,000 is a fairly easy raid if your Titan has at least 3 relic slots available. And easy meaning that you're not going to take too many losses. Game Rescue, while I am a really big fan of infiltrators in raiding and berserkers in raiding, the speed raids, there is just something amazing about having Odin, because he just attacks faster. He's able to clear up everything every time that the Panthers get stuck. Zalan, welcome to the stream, man. Well, Rob, for your guys' sake, I hope you get 50, because if you get 51, all of you guys are going to feel hosed. That was another really weird thing about this event. Did you guys notice that 51 to 100 slot basically disappeared? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's always been only top 50 that got a decent Titan, but I thought for certain that was 51 to 100 used to get it. And today I just noticed it later than everyone else. Oh my gosh. That's terrible, Rob. I mean, honestly, I could take Loki and level him through this event too, but I've already got him to level 40, and the only reason I'm leveling half of the Norse gods is to make sure I can pick up the relics in the temple. I'm also happy to say that, once again, I think I'm about 2.5 weeks away from leveling up to castle level 24. Zalan, I'm going to complete this event. It's shocking to say I don't like the rewards in this one, but to be bluntly honest with you, I'm in desperate need of Skullgrim, because he's the last Titan I need out of that Titan Collection Legendary 2, which holds the other amazing relic in that Titan arena. And so I'm completing it so I can complete that little area, because all of my secondary Titans I'm leveling up to make sure I can lock in all those resist relics. That's right, Rebel. Now, I've told most of my listeners that unless they have extreme circumstances like mine, stop at 3,000. Save all your portal stones for the next event. Now, if I estimate it right, I have enough gems and tokens to where I think I could complete 3 events without spending any money, which is the goal of my channel. Which means I'm going to need a few week break with crappy events before Toland. You know, once again, I'm not really in it for the Titans. I'm in it for the relics. And so unless the relics come out to be amazing, I mean, there's no reason to really do it, because Titans are, they come and they go. But those relics that you get, their lifespan's going to be a lot longer. And there's relics now that are completely outclassed, and that's mainly because of the meta change. We went from, you know, at the beginning of this game, having a meta of Titans, the unstoppable killing force. I mean, even when you were at higher castle levels, because of the lack of relics, because of the lack of X skills, those things were nearly impossible to take out. And so the relics that are an era of that age are done. And I don't really see them coming back and being viable. Because the X skills literally killed that off too. It is my great fear that sometime down the road they're going to try to justify in making X skill relics. I know that's crazy talk, but you know, that when that happens, it's just, I honestly think people are more invested in their relics than they are in their Titans. And an X skill relic, everything would be done. Jeez, Rob, you know, that takes the guts of a champion there. Okay. You guys ever have that problem with this grenadier that sits out here in this forest? Normally I remember about him, but... Kimosabi? That's one thing I don't think we have to worry about. The day a developer watches a free-to-play stream... Oh, Zalan. Terrible event. The only thing I picked up from there, I think I got 2 event relics, and then I got like 2 Bow of Storms. So, I mean, it's... I say terrible, but if it hadn't been for that event, I wouldn't have gotten that. I'm just saying I didn't spend anything. You know, when I first started my streams, I started talking about how I was able to complete, 5 out of 10 events as a free-to-play player. And I started to think about it recently, and to be honest with you, that is more than enough events to have all of the latest good gear. I mean, we just happen to live in an era where half or 3/4 of the events, or half of the events are crappy, another quarter of the events are mediocre, and then we have those gems of events that we all look forward to. And the last event just happened to be one of those gems that came out of nowhere. The only thing that could have made me happier in that event was if they had an orb available in it. Wait, they won't let you use Stormborn in this event? What? Yeah, I believe I got a 3-star grip, Zalon. I'll go check my inventory after this. Let you guys see. I've already forged away all of the 2-star relics that I got. Hey, I'm going to tell you guys that I auto-rated the Gold 2 standard for the first 10 seconds until I started to see some Panthers fall. And I was like, oh crap, these these unbuffed Storm Maidens were doing damage. So they didn't lie about that. I mean, it still wasn't too big of an issue once I started using spells and things like that. But if unbuffed Raiders can take Mamesh's healthy and armored Panthers, give them a run for their money, that does not bode well for the Panther meta, I'll tell you guys that. Oh, can I collect that yet? No, it doesn't let me. Alright, event reward there. Alright, so let's check to see exactly what relics were picked up. Yeah, I didn't get any 4-star relics, guys. Come on. Gilded Arcs for days. Alright, you know, I just, passing by the orbs, I just gotta admire them. These things are amazing. I only have one orb left to level up, and I'll have them all leveled. Alright, so we're now at the 3 stars. Let's see what we got. It is taking up space, Rob. I have to get the 4 stars before I allow myself to forge 4-star relics. So we got 2 Out of the Storms here. Just in case I get another 2 Odins. Alright. Pass all the Goliath belts. More Great Plagues. Bunch of Hero Souls. Maybe I didn't get any 3-star relics from these guys. I got a Norse Talisman right there. Was it the Runic Tattoo that you were talking about, Zalon? Let me scroll back up. Oh, that's the grip. I don't think I got it. Cooter, welcome to the stream, man. We got a Serrated Edge, a bunch of Shocking Gems. Some Storm Shields. A bunch of Thunder Grasps. Reinforced Grip. Nah, I didn't get any Reinforced Grips. Did any of you guys get a 3-star Reinforced Grip? Or a 4-star? That's pretty dang good, King Josh. Basically a quarter of all your raids got you another raid. Well, you are one of the lucky ones that got one of those rare drops, Jamie. Now, for those of you who will be grinding this weekend, I think I'll be putting up another grind stream. Maybe not a grind stream. Honestly, I've been itching to do another. As soon as the next fusion event drops, I'm going to drop like 3 of my series Castle Crushers. And yes, for those of you who have long awaited it, that series will include a maxed out Runa with the best relics that a free-to-play player can find. We are going to find that Runa isn't as big of a joke as people say. Either that or we will humiliate her to all ends. Either way, we are going to see her power as an in-game raider. Go Odin. Now, it was mentioned to me earlier today, and it's got me thinking that I have seen better battle drops actually coming through. I've seen a lot of 0-drop ones Game Rescue, but I've also seen an increase to 3-star drops. It's kind of weird. Which, to be honest with you, I would rather them drop 1 and 2 stars than the occasional 3-star. I like the way the old way that it was. Runa may be a joke, but she's a joke that we can all laugh at this point. So if no other reason, she deserves our respect in that. Agreed, Cooter. Anytime, I actually get upset with people that go and they cap my resource lands that I undefend for, or almost undefend for these events. I make sure that I get on their case about it. And if they give me any lip, I'll cap and delete all their lands and tell them, you know what? Learn some manners or something like that. Because you can only push a free-to-play player so far. You think you could just push them around the entire time? Eventually they're going to fight back. And a free-to-play player that has saved up 40,000 gems sometimes is itching for a fight. And the pay-to-play guys, they're not going to win that easy. And speaking of that, any of you guys who were in non-toxic war this week, you know what? Mad respect to you guys. For most of the week we were at war with Elite. And, well, Elite is going to end up taking the week. I know they spent a great deal of money doing that. Because they literally had like 3 or 4 level 25 guys that were just raiding us non-stop. Free-to-play is like being a boxer that has to save his punches. You're going to get beat down to the point where you're just waiting to throw the right punch. No, Odin, don't you forget it. Cheating a little bit, guys. I'm going to use a spell to help Odin. I'm going to tell you guys now that due to the castle level I'm at, I literally am going to dedicate one builder to nothing but upgrading the Storm Maiden Hall. I still don't exactly know how Storm Maidens are going to fit into the meta, guys. I have my theories and my thoughts, but the fact that they were so effective against Panthers without relics makes me really scared for what meta we have coming up. Because remember, those Storm Maidens were designed to take out Goliaths as well. And even though they're supposed to be weak against battalion troops are slow, and how fast those Storm Maidens attack, I think they're going to be easily kiteable. Now, I will say that I'm also really sad. Not only Titans that we have, or that we have coming up, but if those maidens are going to do as much damage as I fear, Rebel, I can tell you now that I have archers that rip through 170, 180, 200 armor units, where they're Panthers, with 100% physical resist. It's just the damage scaling is so flippin' amazing. My archers are doing 150,000 damage per shot. And when they have 90% of that resisted, man, they're still doing like 15,000 damage, guys. 90% resisted and doing 15,000. You have 3 or 4 shots like that, you're still losing your Panther. All I've got to do is simply throw in 1 or 2 fear spells, give my archers time to fire, and they're still going to clean up Panther defenses, Goliath defenses, whoever it is, at an astronomical rate. And to be honest with you, I don't see how they balance that. The defense has to be reworked to have a chance. And while you can build defenses that can last a little bit longer, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the last thing I want for them to do is release X defensive skills for elemental resistances. That's not the answer. But you know what? You got to think outside the box. How do they fix this game while still moving forward and not moving backwards? I mean, the era of dominance for ranged troops is here. It began with the archers. Grenadiers are sort of a path on the way, or a path on the way to something greater. Because archers right now are the big thing. If Storm Maidens are as good as they look, archers are going to be yesterday's news. I mean, there's nothing that's going to be able to compete with the Storm Maidens. And that's just from me seeing level 25 AI control units. Call it fear-mongering, call it what you will, but if you're not in the lightning meta, if you're not at the forefront of it, I mean, you're not going to be in Legend League and be a happy camper. But I want to hear from you guys. Did any of you do those Titan arenas with battalion troops? Did you see how much damage that they were doing to your archery units, or your spearman units? I mean, could 2 or 3 of them clear out a unit before it reached you? That's the big question I have. Because if they could, it doesn't seem right. Now that you guys have given me the successful results, tell me honestly, with a full retinue of buffed Storm Maidens, would it have been different? Could you have seen that actually changing the battle? Because that is what we are going to be facing within a month. There will be people that have maxed out Titans with maxed out Storm Maiden relics, that are perfect. And let's be honest, Game Rescue. When you're in Legend League, and you lose units on an attack, that's a sign of respect when you're level 25. If you're not losing units in an attack against level 25 units, they're doing something wrong with their defense. Jeez. All right. Well, that's good to hear, Rebel. I mean, in all honesty, it really does sound like the one melee unit that is going to survive during this assault of ranged is the Spearman. He'll still have some uses, and it's just funny because with the exception of Militia and Panthers after release, Spearmen were basically useless. I mean, everyone remembers when melee units were just garbage. It remembers the old Panther AI. Basically, you could only use them to pick up spells. And I wouldn't mind the rise of a Spearman meta. But I guarantee it won't last that long if they do it. It is just because of what's going to happen to the speed of raids. If any of you guys saw my Skolnar Castle Crushers video, that is what it's going to be like, except for, I think, slower. Hey Scribe, welcome to the stream. Alright, now let's cash in another one of these portal stones. The Spearman Inquisition, that is a great way to put it. I don't know, I thought I saw Rio in here earlier. If not, maybe it's just not. He hasn't joined this stream yet, I don't know. The funny thing is, I had a big feeling that when they released Odin, that those lightning damage skills were just a bunch of garbage. Because we knew what X skills were at the time. And when you see a regular damage skill compared to an X skill, you think, wow, I've been gypped. Cooter, I am recommending that most people, free to play, you go to the 3,000 mark, save all your portal stones for next week's event. I myself, I'm finishing this event because I need Skullgrim. Skullgrim, simply because he's the last Titan I need to get the Legendary 2 Arena relics. And those relics, with the exception of the 5-star relics, I think are by far the best in game. So you have your 5 stars, and then you have those 2 from the legendary, because they give, 3 resistances. Now I'm going to complete the event after that, because let's be honest, if you get to 14,000, every 1,000 points after that is generally worth a grind. I don't know if it's going to be worth tokens, but it's worth grinding. But grinding out to 14,000 is going to be the waste. Hey, Joseph. Sometimes you just got to lay your cards down as free to play. I respect that. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what, I've been waiting too many events. I'm not waiting another one. And once again, I've reached danger zone for my amount of event relics saved up and my portal stones, because while I have 38,000 gems saved up and 18 portal stones still, I estimate that will last me through 3 events should I choose to complete them. So if Dawn of Titans drops several in a row on me, I'm gonna have to choose whether or not which ones I skip. Keep in mind, if you're free to play, you're still paying. You're just paying time. That is the only way you... And I am proof that you can compete at the highest levels in Legend League as a free-to-play player. I used to question that assumption of mine, because a while ago there's on Soldier's stream, they had League of Gods, the #1 team in Legend League. Come on. And they were doing a question-answer session. I was in that, and I asked them, you know what, can you give a shout out to any F2P players that are in your guild, and let us know their names? And their response was, what does F2P mean? Free to play? What's that? That's when I realized how lonely it is up here, and I thought, really, I was like, am I the only free to play player in Legend? Ultimately, though, it was because of that stream that I decided to create this channel. And so while it doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles that everything else has, you know what? By golly, it is a stream dedicated to a certain group of absolutely nutty individuals that play this game. And I happen to be proud to call myself one of those nutty individuals. Look at that. Most impressive thing of the night. My Odin beat a panther with his fists. That is what I expect of the Norse god of gods. That's right. Kimosabi, we're all a little nutty. Alright. See, I've got to decide what my goals are tonight on how many souls I'm going to get to. Now I worked a 12-hour day today, so I was thinking if I get to 3,000 souls today, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually really happy that the whole Panther meta is not here. While Odin, it's fun to raid on Odin every once in a while, it would get super old if I had to go back to kiting. I'm right there with you, man. My main speed raider is Mamesh at the moment with my Main castle attacker being Siggy. Fear the Norse god. And by the way, guys, I still love the Fear spell. It is one of my favorites in this game. Hey, we got 25 people watching right now. Welcome all new people. Pop in here, tell me how far you guys are planning on getting in this event. What is it that you guys are looking for to get out of it? Because while I may have outlined my thoughts on it earlier, at the end of the day, we all have different things that we're aiming for. And if you are, I'm going to tell you guys now, if you are not on the Fireball train, get on it now. It is the most used spell in this game, at least for me. Alright, Yoon, I'm going to hold you to that. We are going to have a race in this particular event, like we did back when Valkyrie was originally released. Not all the banners have been good, Rob. I think I only have 2 banners, and I got them both from last event. I'm not going to deny that. But not all of the relics that have been released have been worth our time. I agree. I seem to get much better relic pools on the last day of the events. And once again, maybe that's my superstition kicking in, but if I have the time to raid on the last day of the event, I mean, I can normally count on my average relic being between a 2 and a 3 star, which is unheard of. Because my average relic in this last event, when I was just using them day by day, was like 1.5. I couldn't get 2-star relics to save my life. Well, there you go. A little bit of superstition. We all see it differently. I mean, that last one was unique, though, alright? Because even when getting the Titans, like my Theros, absolute garbage. I ended up getting Archer and Armor on that Theros for my Archers. Or Armor and Health, I should say. And I have no regrets of getting him, because I didn't have him yet. And so now I have a bonus Titan for down the road. And for any arena level 40s that I need to get. Good night, Kimosabi. Thanks for joining the stream, man. As the late night community starts to die off here, our friends across the ocean, the British are coming. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, people. We're going to hang up 2 lanterns, just like Paul Revere. Except this time they're not coming to attack. They are coming because they enjoy the same things we do. Because you guys are, let's just face it, just as nerdy as the United States is in some aspects. But wear it as a badge of pride, people. I know I do. 3 if by live stream. That's right, Zalon. Take it to the next level. And speaking of 3 if by live stream, this is going to be a shout out and a plug to another non-toxic. I don't know. I don't know if he's part of the non-toxic community, but Ron Gamer. He will be going live shortly after this stream. So those of you who are going to be grinding throughout the night or are waking up for their own grind, know that us DOT streamers are going to be there with you most of the way. Good question. Good question, Rebel. Just so everyone knows that if you're not the late night king, you're just a measly daytime overlord. And that goes for you, Rescue and Zalan. Or Vintage and Zalan. Now, when I retire, I've actually put up a logo for my channel now. When I retire, that is the island I am going to rule as the king. Just as long as you've been set straight, Zalan, that's all I ask. Even the king can't be awake at all hours. That's why I send my overlords to run the daytime. They just don't know it yet. All right. You know, one thing I really like about the artwork of Odin, you know, he's freaking wearing furs in this. He is like literally straight, what's the word I'm looking for? He is what I would think as the outdoorsy guy. That's not even a good thing. A survivalist. A type of guy that if you ran into in the middle of the woods, you know you ain't getting out alive. Normally has an eye patch on, but he happens to be shooting lightning out of it. Dude, if I was out camping and someone came up there like that, and I saw him, I'd pee my pants. The mountain man with a lightning eye. We hit 40 million like this afternoon. I'd probably say sometime tomorrow we hit 200 million. Here we go. You know what? I'm not sure what global is. Are we able to see what global is on our game? I haven't checked that out yet. Now, since I got a lot of you guys in here right now, I've been getting some requests, and I wanted to pass it by you all, to make some videos on basically how to speed raid high level castles. Is that something that you guys would have interest in? I'm just not sure of the experience level here. Scribe, thanks so much for joining the stream, man. You take care. And visit the kingdom once again very soon. Sounds good, Rebel. Then I'll probably look at making a video probably in one of these upcoming weeks where Non-Toxic War is at war for one of the top 3 spots in Legends. If I'm able to show you what a war like that looks like, you're going to get a better idea of what you have to be prepared to do. Alright. Rewards. Do I go with the 500? You know, I don't think I'm going to make it through another 100 portal stones, so maybe I'll do 7 more attacks. Find out where I am. I personally, I wish I would have looked at more at the attacking videos when I first started playing the game, because I think it would have saved me a lot of time. Because I'm going to tell you, while Rangers were meta for a long time, my kiting mechanics were terrible at first. And, you know, there's just no way around that. You have to be good at kiting to be able to use Rangers. Or used to be able to. Hey, no problem. Thank you for that, Ken. I'm always happy to help out. This community needs more streamers. And for those of you who are thinking, you know what? Maybe I'd like to do that. Stop thinking it and do it. We've got a slew full of streamers that are more than happy to help you get set up. Because at the end of the day, we don't produce enough content for this game. And really, from what I've seen, the content that the developers and that the other streamers do is what keeps this game alive. District 13. And no, you don't need a gimmick to stream either. You just need an idea. See, my channel, not as many subscribers as others that are out there. We're only sitting with a few, almost 200. And that's fine with me. The more we keep our little strategies in-house here, the better off we're all going to be. But if you have that idea you want to get out to the community, you tell me, and I will let the other YouTube streamers know about what's coming up for you. I'll get them to hype up your channel within ours. So you can get that audience that is going to be ready to listen to you. Man, I almost feel like Odin should just get down like a bull and ram him. His helmet's freaking awesome. Alright. And shout out to those that have been with me since the beginning here. Back in the early days of my stream, it was exciting because we had like 3 people on at any one time. We're 7 times that amount now, and it's not even one of my instructional videos. This is just a regular grind stream. So we've seen this thing grow beyond what I ever thought it would. And for those of you that are new to my stream, I would really encourage you, while you still can, to go check out my free-to-play strategy series. This is the first series I put up here. the last video in that has my relic forging video. And while I've been meaning to get around to basically pointing it out in titles and things like that, I honestly didn't think, I thought they would have fixed relic forging by now. But I have a system that basically works pretty well for me. I'm currently sitting at 55 5 and 4 star relics that are fully maxed out. So more than the amount of Titans that I have currently maxed out. I think I have 4 Titans currently maxed out. So 6 slots from each of them, that's 24. So there is a way to beat the system. You just got to be willing to pay the iron price. I agree, Rebel. If they have reduced the drop rates, I mean, to be honest with you, they probably reduced them in preparation for the redoing of the relic forging. But it'll mean the next few weeks will be harder to level up relics. And to be honest with you, I really want to get my 5-star relic leveled before the forging system changes. I have a feeling it's not going to be as friendly. Alright guys, we got one more battle. Then I will be closing up stream tonight. I want to thank you all for coming out, enjoying this little rendezvous. I want to tell you guys that the kingdom would be nothing without you guys. And that is the name for my stream, The Kingdom. I think that it should be standard to have a Throne Wars or a Theaters of War event before, even if it's just a free-to-play, but to get people hyped about the upcoming event. I think it's a good business model for them to drop the extra event relics with the intention of trying to get people to spend more and looking more favorable. Okay, so let's find out how far that we actually got tonight. Not too far, guys. Only at 1740. I have a long weekend ahead of me. Let's see. When we have it almost at 2,000. All right. Okay. All right. I have done a cardinal sin, guys. I have not unguarded my lands. That is really strange, man. I hope that we're all just being paranoid about it. Wait a second. Yeah, I need to switch off of Solgar to get the Stormboar here. And it sounds like my sun is getting up, so this is a good time to switch out. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to try to throw another stream up before the end of the weekend. So those of you who are grinding with me, you'll be able to have someone to grind with. Oh, freak. Okay, well, I'm just going to leave. Alright. Peace out, guys. Peace out.